guys, and welcome to my channel. This is my first ever makeup video and I'm a little nervous if you can't tell. But today we are going to be doing my first ever chit chat get ready with me. So I do have my foundation on, concealer, I powdered, I have a bit of bronzer on, and my brows of course. We are just going to be doing mainly the eyes. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, which we all know and half of us hate. I actually really like this palette. I don't have an issue with it, but I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors DESIxKATY collection, the Girls palette. I know that this is out of stock, and I'm very sorry if you don't have it, but I know that they are restocking everything from the line in October. So I'll link their social medias down below so that if you are interested in this palette and you don't own it yet, or any of that collection, then you can head on over to their social media and they'll let you know when it is coming out again. But I'm going to be using this today and this guy. And we are just going to get started. I'm going to tell you a bit about myself while I'm doing my makeup, and I hope that you get ready with me. I'm going to be going in with the first brush, which is the Morphe M504. Looks like this. It's really, really big. Like, it's really fluffy. I love using this for like a transition shade. Dipping into this palette, I'm going to use this shade here, which is Dawn, kind of all over my crease as a transition shade. Just one little dip into the palette. There's quite a bit of fallout in them, but at the same time that they're super pigmented and they blend pretty well for me, so I'm not really sure if it's the type of brushes that I use, if it's just the light hand that I use. I'm not really sure on why this palette works for me, but it kind of does. I'm going to just kind of blend this out. Next up, I'm going to go into the shade, let's go with Fudge. That really beautiful brown right here. I'm taking a smaller brush. This is the Morphe M505. It looks the same, but smaller version. I'm just gonna dip into that shade very lightly, and we're gonna kind of build this up on the outer V area. I haven't actually played with the shadow yet, so I don't know how I feel. I'm gonna just do the same thing on the other side so that I don't end up with differences in the eyes. I can't blend that out. I'm just gonna kind of build it up so it's the same intensity on both sides, because that eye is pretty dark compared to this one. And I'm just gonna try and blend this out as best as I can. And then I'm probably gonna grab another palette, because the shadows that I was intending on using were all browns. All the shades in it, Fudge doesn't blend. Alrighty, let's just do the Tartelette in Bloom palette, because I love the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I think it's beautiful. I love this particular shade, sets my lid every day. But I'm going to pick up Jet Setter, I think. This one here. Just on that same 504 brush, and I'm just gonna try and blend this out a little bit better and deepen this spot up a little bit more. I know I'm using the biggest brush for this, but I'm just trying to blend that out and it's not working. While I'm trying to do this, let's talk about me. I'm from Canada, so I actually love it here. This is my home. I was born and raised here, so I feel like when you're born and raised in Manitoba, you like stay here. And it's not really a bad thing, but it is at the same time. But I really love my home. I live with my boyfriend. We have been together for 8.5 years now. 2 pets. My dog is Sophie. She is a Pomeranian cross. And my cat is a ragdoll. The next shade I'm gonna pop on my lid is going to be Activist, this one. So I'm taking Activist, and I am doing that with a tapered blending brush, an E40 from Sigma, and I'm just gonna kind of pop this just in this outer area and bringing that into the crease. What else do you want to know about me? I am 25 years old. I work in the dental field. I'm actually a administrator at an orthodontist office, and I love it. But I really like my job. I love the people I work with. The people I work for are pretty great too. If you're watching this, I do love you guys. That's what I do. I'm gonna go back in with Jet Setter, this one here. This Morphe E22. I'm gonna go back into Jet Setter with this brush, and I'm just gonna kind of bring this onto the lid a little bit more and through the crease, just to kind of blend everything together a little bit more. I am keeping this lower, of course, than our transition shade, but I'm just kind of adding it in because I feel like my lid is just not looking right from that fudge shade, of course. That's better. I'm now gonna go into the Dose of Colors palette. I just friggin' love this packaging, like it's just so pretty. I'm going in with the shade Suze, which is the shade here, and this is one of the ones that you need to use wet. I'm just gonna spray my finger with some Fix Plus and just pick this up, and I'm just gonna kind of pop this all over my lid. Oh my god, that's so pretty. And pick up some more of that shadow. Like it's just so pretty. Just going to blend that out, and I'm gonna go back in with this little brush. I feel like this one will do the best job. I'm just gonna pick up a tiny bit more with my finger. Okay, so a lot of fallout is happening on my face right now, so just be careful of that when you are applying the shadow. I'm just gonna take this Morphe E3. I set my under eyes already, so hopefully I can just kind of dust this powder and excess. Oh yeah, that's totally just dusting away, so that's awesome. If you go in and do your foundation first, then I just suggest setting your under eyes so that you can dust it away, no problem, because that's looks fine underneath now. I'm just gonna go back into the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I'm going to take a mixture of Flower Child and Jet Setter. Let's use the E18 from Morphe. Looks like this. It's just kind of a little brush. And I'm just gonna mix those two together. And I'm gonna pop these along my lower lash line. I'm keeping this look pretty simple because it is my first ever tutorial, and I'm sure that you've all seen these types of videos before. So I figured I would just jump right in and do one too. I'm taking Jet Setter by itself now because I just find that that wasn't doing enough for me. And I'm just gonna run that along and kind of flick it out to match up with this kind of corner that I have going on here. And do the same on this side. I got a little in my eye. Kinda hurts. I'm going to go in with Activist on a smaller kind of pencil brush. This one here, this is the Morphe M169, and it looks like this. I'm just gonna pick that up kind of on the tip of the brush and run that along the outer corners. And I'm gonna pull it in, but not all the way in, because it is pretty much black. So I don't want it to be super dark. And I'm just gonna pick this up as well and kind of place this along the outer area. On both sides, of course. I just want to deepen that up a little bit more. Jet Setter. This is just that Sigma brush again, the E40. I'm just gonna blend that out. This turned into a smoky eye real quick. I am picking up Jet Setter when I'm blending this out just so that it's not super, super dark. It's definitely darker, but just so that it's not extremely dark. Because that wasn't really what I was going for, but I ended up that way, which tends to pretty much always happen. I'm gonna go back in with Suze on a little E36 from Morphe, and I'm just gonna spritz it and pick that up wet, and I'm just gonna pop that into my inner corner. I lost a bit of it here, so I'm just gonna kind of pat it back on as well. When I was blending it away, it kind of disappeared on me. I'm kind of sad because this is the only thing that I picked up from the collection when it restocked the second time, but I definitely want to get a couple more things when they come back again in October, because I really, really like this palette. I think they did a really good job on this palette, and I love them both very much. I think that they're amazing. Amazing influencers. They really care about everything that they do, honestly. I'm just gonna pop on some mascara. I will be right back to do the rest of my face. Okay, so I'm just about to put my lashes on. I used the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara, and then I tight-lined and waterlined my eyes with the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Liner. And I'm just going to pop on these lashes. These are the Dodo Lashes in the style D115. They look like this. They're really, really pretty and just really pretty. I really like them. I do have an affiliate code with them. No, I'm not pushing it on you. If you'd like to save some money, I'll link it down below. And I'm just gonna pop these bad boys on. I always go, this is gonna be a lash tutorial in the same video. I always go from above, and I do apply my mascara first because I feel like it just works easier for me. I always go from above and I look down and then place them down. And I just kind of let them both sit for a minute on my eye. I use the Smashbox Pearl palette by Casey Holmes. It's the Spotlight palette in Pearl, and this is what it looks like. It is so beautiful. I love it. She did a fantastic job on these shades, by the way, guys. My Morphe M501 brush, and I am taking the lightest shade mixed with this one, but I put this one on first. Ooh, girl. And I do bring it up, and I also bring it under my brow, but I do that when there's like nothing left on my brush because I don't want too much going on there. I'm just gonna kind of intensify this. And Cupid's bow, just to highlight that my lips aren't even. And then I'm going to take that, just the same brush, and I'm gonna go in with that last shade, this one here. You can see what I film on. And I'm just gonna pop this right on the tops of the cheeks. So pretty. I don't know if that's picking up on camera for you guys, but this side definitely is. It's just so pretty. I really, really love it. So I always use those two together. I have used the middle shade, and I love the middle shade too, but I really tend to go for the lightest one. I'm using the Morphe M527, and I'm taking this Cheekathon palette from last year's Christmas collection from Benefit, and I'm just using the Hoola bronzer out of here. I'm not a blush person, just so you guys are aware ahead of time. I'm a bronzer person. I love bronzer. I was that girl in high school that literally put bronzer all over her face to have a fake tan. That was me. Blend it all out here. I've already contoured my nose, and the last thing I need to do is my lips, and I'm not really sure what to do. Let's use Honeycomb, because why not do a nude for my first ever video? Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray, and I always spray mine first because I don't need it to spit on my face. This is my finished makeup look. I will leave all of the products that I use down below in the description box. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you are not, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!